Hello everybody, my name is Jonathan Jelliff and I would like to introduce to you the various things that we have come to know as artificial intelligence and how that plays a role into our lives, and then continue on through how these algorithms can compare as well to neural networks and artificial intelligence and all the exciting things we have learned thus far in this course. So, um, we'll begin off at algorithms have become from a place of trying to solve some problem, but this mathematics with alternative and machine learning, they go a step further with not only to solve a problem or make something better, but they are predicting about what will happen in the future. So this is different than standard mathematics because mathematics is just true or false. So this is what makes data analytics and data science and machine learning and artificial intelligence very exciting. This predictive analytics is compared to the full range of possibilities that predicate analytics offers. It is essential to start with clear understanding about this. So this is a new area, I believe, for many of us, and the methodologies and principles behind predictive analysis is uh, grouped by a variety of statistical techniques and computational methods, such as data mining and machine learning, and then all too familiar neural networks. So this is um, this is excellent because this leads into the next field of artificial intelligence, which is a step further with the neural networks, and then eventually, when the patterns of analyzing become large enough, we will get into quintessential elements of predictive analytics. But I believe that's a little bit further ahead. So right now we are in predictive analytics, finds usage in a broad spectrum of disciplines and sectors in life, such as like companies and especially marketing and finance, health care. We learned predictive health treatments that are becoming available that have never become before. So, a few typical applications that have been around is like credit score, fraud detection, and market segmentation. But again, these are mathematics that are current or in the past. You Market segment, that's predictive of the past, but we can, because it's like a credit score, judge that on the person's personality more than the actual mathematics itself. So, as we can see, that there are many positives for the outlook on called uh, AI, and but we can't focus so much only on the positive, because like any technology that's new, there are some negatives as well, and we would have to work the kinks out, so to speak. So some of these negatives that we've learned is, um, recently, as far as the neural networks have the prone that they can explode with the misfires of um, between the cells, and also for um, gradient reduction that happens in a simple neural network. So anyway, it's quite the same with this technology, because it does still involve AI, and that's uh, something that's, if there's a single neural network, that's they would need to keep an eye for that. But um, other negatives that need to be considered as well are predictive models. If the people rely too much on the result, or gut instinct, if they feel like the situation is wrong. Um, so it could possibly take common sense out of the factor, and people don't feel like they have to learn as much because the AI will do it for them. Um, so also the descriptive models, the technique groups the potential customers into uh, categories to understand the likelihood. So this could be, a positive, like mentioned before, if it's based on sales, and companies want to increase sales. But we have also learned in class that there's a potential for AI for negative impacts as well, such as the AI that was um, predicting models for repeat offenders, and that system was flawed, apparently. So, and these these types of things, um, people will have to learn to adjust to, just like any other technology. So, but there are other um, negative factors that come into play that don't necessarily have a capability for people to protect themselves. And some of these uh, types of things are, quality of the data that is being collected. If it has poor quality, that can lead to inaccurate predictions, absolutely. And then the lack of skilled personnel. This is a new technology, so there will be new people to enter it, and overfitting, as we all know in statistics, is quite a challenge to always be mindful for, where the predictive model is too accurate, and too accurate is less accurate. So other things is it's a large quantity of data, and this data could be, a lot of it is very sensitive, and personal, and has the potential for abuse. So what is the AI capable, or how they're programmed, and how they are to protect individuals from data going into the wrong hand. We have seen several cases in this class where data has been exposed. And recently, AT&T, I think, was exposed to almost 80 million customers and more from previous customers. So I think it was almost half the country. So after data analysis is another thing. After data collection, um, there's always a phase of necessities experts can analyze and mine this data to extract, because patterns for use in the predictive model, they can change. So if the data is outdated, this could potentially lead to inaccurate results. And statistical analysis, once data has been thoroughly analyzed, statistical algorithms are applied to the data to be a model. So this also would be a thing to keep in mind. So those are significant impacts that could potentially happen. But there are challenges as furthermore, such as the predictive analysis can deliver incredible results that are not credible, utilizing the effect of these without challenges. Data quality and data privacy and a lack of skilled personnel combined, and time taken for that business for preparation on a model building are some of the hurdles that appropriate that businesses will have to face. And it probably will be a trial and error for certain groups that are more dependent on artificial intelligence. So along with that, all of this said, it's a very promising future, but it's a high potential for abuse as well. So as data analysts, we have to become vigilant to these types of mistakes and behaviors. So it brings us in that through this our data, we have to when we receive data, we have to verify it. We can't automatically just agree to this data as being accurate until it's thoroughly analyzed. So as we move on, I would like to go over some of the processes to building a recurrent neural network. Specifically, we'll get into a long, short-term memory network. So beginning, and on the top right is a general overview of how the neural networks will work. This one is a recurrent neural network with inputs and outputs, but it also contains the gate right here, and that's the difference between the simple neural network. And also there's the cell going all the way through the cell state, so that enhances the memory there. So after we import the required libraries, and of course we will load the data. So we begin to the process of preparing for visualization. So we will, this is pictures of some of the runs that I did earlier, and what I did here will separate the all the regions. We on this one we came out 22 columns, but I reduced those columns because all of them weren't necessary. We were really focusing on the median sell price of and these are homes in Houston only. So I filtered that out through Redfin to be able to get those information. The data visualization step would include graphs, which are in the report, but those are usually, it showed an incline throughout the years, and there was a decline during 2010. So we'll go on to splitting the data set was the next, and we will move from there. And moving on after this, we will scale the data using a scaler to prepare for the training of the data. And so we're loading the model, and we have created the model. So after the steps, we practice on the minced data step. So we will prepare for the recurrent neural network, and that was through the input, and through we will separate the x and y value to create the sequence. And once we build the simple model, we saw the sequential data as seen on the screen. So then we prepared for a little bit more into depth after training the models. We want to see the results on the history of the validation when we go through that. So yeah, initially when we moved on, we had the training model, but before, so we just wanted a simple sine wave data on our data set. So we started out with 437 points, but later we increased that just to plan around and to see different effects. So the sequential, we added the function, and we prepared for a dropout as well. So once we trained the data set through the sine function, we had the first layer, and we're planning for the first, second, and third layer right here. So when we prepared the model after the line space function as well. So once we build the model, we also prepared for the training model, and we prepared again using the fit generator, the function there. So once we did run the model, we wanted to see the loss function on that. So using as well to scale the data, we used the min-max scaler as well to utilize that function after we split the function in order to scale it, preparing for testing So we split the data into 80% for training and 20% for testing. So we created the sequences and appended the data in the array um, to prepare for the shape and training and the testing as well. So then we split the data. We added the rows of 1,024 rows and the dimension. I think there were 21 rows, but for this purpose we used only one, which was the median sale price of the homes in Houston, and then we used the sine wave data for that. So in this example here, we had this one on the is a simple RNN, okay, but and then we had a dense layer for that purpose there. So we can see that the outputs were 453, and we ran it a total of 100 epochs. So for this example, we did it a couple times with different data results. So we had the LSTM layer for the first, and then a dropout, and then another LSTM and another dropout, and then the dense layer. So we had those hidden layers on that one. So there were a total of 4 layers. So the moving along, we had this first example. We had it consisted of 2 layers on this example on the left. So those are 2 different runs. The process parameter was a little shorter with but it had 4,224 data points. So the next one after on the right had 50,800. So quite a difference there. It took a lot longer to run that. So next we ran again one more time on the model on the bottom there for in the center and on the top right, just to show the ending of those results from the previous run. So, but then next we planned for the model loss history to see the effect of the gradient problem. So this was typical gradient loss with a higher, and then it sharply decreases over time, and then it steadies out. So both of these are 2 different runs. Again, the left chart and the right chart shows different data points that we used just to see the effects and get a better accuracy. So again, for this last one we ran, there were 10 layers, so we added some layers for that. So it was a bigger model to run. And finally, we prepare for the testing phase. So we prepare the model again using the same data, and we plot the the results from the training. So we evaluate the model, um, and we once we load it, we can evaluate the first performance against the second performance. So we prepared for the comparison of the root mean square error for the median price of the values of the home. Um, so we ran the total of that 10,200 times as the model ran that with um, 769 epics on one, and then 101 epics on the previous one. So there were all in total. I thought that the data. Eventually, I would have liked a larger data set, but it was we went back a total of 12 years, but the months were all already formatted in median, or I'm sorry, mean price, but we took the mean price to translate that per month over the past 12 years for 3 different cities. So using that, so 3 different metropolitan areas of Houston. So I think the total data set was almost 500, uh, and then once we broke it down. So we can see that the predict, when X we would predict the value and make predictions uh, using the df iloc function, which is presented in the final, and we'll test that against the predicted and actual values. So moving forward, we did learn quite a bit on this, mostly for Jupiter, but the bottom left as well, we used sign predictions for the overall value of our data on the median home square footage on of that, and the values of the sell prices. Thank you.